Astrology friends, these are your June 2023 video horoscopes with me, Lada from Astrolada.com. And June we have a very monumental event, Jupiter conjunct the North Node. That's a manifestation of wishes combination. I mentioned it in some videos that this combination was when the king would gather its priests to pray to the gods, because they believe that when Jupiter is with the North Node, the prayers of humanities are heard and reach God more. So now it's time to dream big or to pray more because some wishes will come true. And there's some other important events that I'll talk about. But first I want to tell you that me and Trifon are doing a course on June the 10th and the 11th on the 100 fixed stars, most important according to ancient sources, how they play out in the natal chart, what it means to you. You can read the horoscope just using fixed stars, nothing else. That's how I read most horoscopes. And I'm starting a new big offer throughout the whole summer, every 3 weeks. Anyone who wants to learn astrology, I'll be recommending a few courses, foundational and more advanced, about a certain topic that are the essential courses, because we have more than 300 astrology courses. So I'll be recommending which are the best for certain topics, and every month I'll do a live Q&A with everyone who takes those courses. You can ask me, we can do more than one Q&A, so you can learn astrology with me, and there'll be big discount on the bundles of those courses on different topics. We start with astrology of relationships. Check it out. I'll put a link below. You can check on my website. There will be updated courses every 3 weeks, and then the discount disappears. But I will be throughout you the whole summer with every new person that joins for any questions on this process of learning with me, because we have incredible courses from incredible astrologers, and mine, of course, always will be present there. Thank you. Let's start. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, June 2023. The month starts with a bang. Jupiter conjunct the North Node. Last time this happened was 2016, sometime in the spring, summer. So it's very rare that we have those two planets together. They're larger than life and they expand everything they touch. So for you, Libra, already from the end of May, but the whole month of June, you're under this influence. Jupiter with the North Node in the 8th house. Now the 8th house is not the easiest house, but those two planets can help you manifest there. What are some of the things you can manifest in this 8th house? Because these are positive. Jupiter is considered to give us something always, to help us, to bless us there. The North Node is considered to help us materialize something in the material physical world. And Jupiter and both the North Node expand things, make them grow. So in the 8th house, let's say the good things. Maybe somehow you can benefit through taxes. Maybe some help or some expedient answers with taxes or with money that comes to you from other sources, whether it's through a bank or from mortgages or from debt or 8th house is also your investments. Do you have a portfolio of stocks or whatever? This can be a sign of sudden rise there. Rahu, the North Node, suddenly, and Jupiter expands, and with the North Node it can be sudden. Or sudden rise of resources coming to you through partner. Maybe some kind of a raise of your partner. I had Jupiter and the North Node in my 8th house, 2016, and that's when I met my husband. That was a crazy time, because 8th house is also house of soulmates and very strong sexual chemistry. So that's another thing that Jupiter North Node can activate, like it did for me, plus eclipses activated it for me, and Uranus. But we look at many things, but I'm giving my example, something that really improves your sex life, gives emotional sexual healing. it does. There is such a thing like sexual healings when you're in love, truly. Meeting someone that heals your soul as well, or something that heals you on a deep psychological level, some deep release of pent-up emotion that can explode, that can scare you a bit, but that after that you feel relieved and cleaned and cleared. But going back to the more material side of it, this being other people's resources, partners' money, clients' money. When it was transiting there for me, both the North Node and Jupiter, my income tripled. I've never seen anything like that within a month or two. So you have this month or two opening here as well. I wish it for you. My husband's Libra rising. Let's see if I'm, let's see what happens. I'm hopeful for him. Actually, for the next 12 months, Jupiter will be in your 8th house. Inheritance can come to you, even though inheritance imply the passing away of people, but the 8th house is also the house of death and births. Also, 8th house is conceptions of babies, births of babies, death of people, births and deaths. I mean the extreme, but which one comes? Even I can't tell you. I'm not God. I can just read what I've seen happen before. I've seen both things happening. I've seen births and I've seen conceptions and pregnancies in the 8th house with Jupiter and with North Node even more. And I've seen deaths as well. So I don't know which one, but not your own death, don't worry. But insurances, inheritances, you can gain through taxes or through clients. You can start making more money through clients or through your partner and so on. But again, don't forget that other aspect of the 8th house, which is very hidden, which is where we have traumatic experiences. And the North Node gives us like a trampoline jump. And Jupiter expands it even more. So you can be shaken off of some trauma or intensive emotional state, or a state that you're shook off and healed through it very suddenly, that your vibration changes very fast. So I'm wishing this to lots of Libras, but something first might shake you up. This conjunction, the North Node and Jupiter, can be very beneficial for the final results, but emotionally it can be a big shake-up, that something turns your world around as well, because the 8th house is the house where everything changes so fast. Death, birth, rebirth, these are the extreme things in life. It's the house of divorces, bankruptcies, the house of the best things, the births, the worst things. And the houses of millionaires of lotteries and stuff like that. But anyway, something can turn your fate very quickly in the 8th house. I don't want to scare you. Don't worry. You'll gain something from that with Jupiter in the North Node there. I would even play the lottery. Who knows? I mean, not all Libras will have anything like that, but why not? Or if you're in crypto or whatever, in investments, this is your stock market. There can be something that you benefit there from. But yeah. Psychologically as well, you can have big breakthroughs and realizations. Like it's the liberating kind of influence. But passions can be very high as well, because Rahu is very passionate planet, stirring the passions of the 8th house, forbidden desires and secret desires. But that again can be used to get you out of a certain rut. All right. There are many other ways it can be interpreted, but this reading will become too long. The next big event for you is that on the 6th, Venus will enter your 11th house and stay there till October. Very long time for Venus to be in the same house. And Mars is already there. Libras, that's quite nice. Your planet enters a very lucky, happy house. The 11th house is considered the house of gains, rewards. Again, it's a bit of a financial house together with this 8th house. So I'm thinking there is a possibility here for increased income over the next 4 months for some of you. Or Venus makes things easy wherever it goes. The 11th house is your goals and dreams. So maybe towards some goal or dream, you'll be able to have progress there with more ease. Maybe a woman can help, but Venus, this is you're Venus. You can meet more gainful people, more wealthy people during this period, because it's a social house, the 11th house, which is in your social environment, or more women overall. My husband is Libra rising with Venus in his 11th house by birth, and he's surrounded by regal, beautiful, bit loud women, because it's Leo, that overbearing. And so for some of you, it might be that there is more such kind of women in your life, but they help you. The 11th house is people that help you in some way. But Venus is also you because it rules you as a Libra. So Venus going there means that in the next 4 months you can be very invested and breeze through with ease through your long-term goals and dreams. These are your incomes increasing as well. New friendships, getting involved with groups of people on forums or live with people in social events, and social events that can benefit somehow, financially, materially, or even in love in some way, because Venus is a planet of love after all. But there is a lot of action here this month with Venus and Mars, and into July as well. Then Mars leaves, only Venus stays, but the passions are high. So the passions are high. Maybe hang out with friends. This is the house of friends, because both you, the planet that rules in, the planet that rules relationships, is in your 11th house. Something can happen there if you're interested in meeting someone. It's also a house of business, though, not just friends, of your network, business network. You can invest time and focus, because you're Venus, over the next 4 months to for your ideas or business, or to reach wider audience. So into marketing, into more into connecting with like-minded people, into having your product reach larger group of people, for example. That's another way that Venus can really help you here. You can also create good friendships or improve friendships for you. More social summer, definitely. For sure, social, but also a bit glamorous. There's the glamour of the lion there. But after that, Venus will go retrograde from the end of July. So then things will start, changing. First, though, you might be meeting new people now. You might be more social. You might be undertaking on some goal with a partner or alone, because Venus is you, on some goal, that's long-term dream goal that you start, that you start seeing they're starting to fall together somehow. But we'll speak about Venus going retrograde next time. And the next event is that on the 12th, Pluto will go back to your 4th house for a little bit. So themes till the end of the year. So themes of parenthood, parents can become under pressure a little bit again to be revised, or you might find out something about your childhood that you didn't know about, or matters regarding property, real estate, place of living can become a focus again and require concentrated efforts. And sometimes Pluto can bring a bit of a crisis there, the need to use more willpower, concentrated willpower. But Pluto is ultimately divine willpower. So whatever happens there, it was for the evolution of your soul, whether it's anything connected with a parent, with property, with place of living, with real estate. Pluto is a little bit beyond our ability to influence. It has the power, the divine willpower. So we just kind of have to learn to accept those changes and to know that they're for the best, for the evolution of our soul. But again, with Pluto there, it's maybe you're completing something. So you might mean that, to the next day, you might go back to a place of living you've been before, or you might have some big transformations with place of living. But I don't think Libras will feel it. Usually just the Libras born 21st, 22nd, 23rd of October will probably feel it. These are the very last degree Libras. Of course, born with Ascendant from 27 to 30 degrees in Libra, or Moon in those degrees, then they can feel this intense transformations of Pluto. While all other Libras, they have gone through them already. Now it can be just a little bit of maybe completing something you haven't completed in regard to property, to family, in regards to place of living, maybe some psychological revelations that you figure out again. Don't think it will be a big crisis and turbulent disturbance for the earlier degrees. All right, and then Saturn goes retrograde on the 18th, and that's going to happen in your 6th house for the first time in 30 years. Actually, I really like Saturn transiting the 6th house. Well, sometimes it does give health problems, especially if you've not been taking good care of your body, or if there is environmental toxins or emotional even toxins around you. And when Saturn goes retrograde in your 6th house, especially from Ascendant, this can be a sign that health issues, like some chronic health issues, start appearing, returning, or health, there is some issues there. But that's only so to draw your attention to become more deliberate and conscious over the next 2-3 years, to change your habits. And I've almost never seen a person who is having Saturn transiting their 6th house, or from Ascendant in particular, who has not changed their health for better in some way. Some after a heavy blow of some health issues that tells them enough, I need to change my dietary changes, remove toxic environments of people, whatever. But they usually, the changes that you do with your health now are for life. Like my sister-in-law had for the last 2.5 years Saturn in her 6th house, and she's 1 year today sober, which is, I'm so proud of her. She's like removed all alcohol, nothing, like even sugar and everything. And yeah, when Saturn transits your 6th house, you can do it, especially during the retrograde period. You kind of get the extra pressure from the universe and the extra stubbornness on your side to stick with it, to really, and to see the, because retrograde, you see the consequences of actions, and you're like, okay, so I will double down. Like, you put your back into it. When a planet is retrograde, you put 3 times more effort into it. So now is the time to do it. For some of you, for many of you, well, I hope, yeah, my husband, since Saturn entered his 6th house, he's been getting on his healthy and healthier routines daily. And now when it goes retrograde, I hope his health is good. We'll see. But also the 6th house is work and employees. So sometimes if you're in the wrong work, Saturn going retrograde there will start showing you dissatisfaction, will start making the work more difficult, with more challenging, make you less happy about it. So almost like a pressure on you to reconsider, is this the right work for me, the right work environment? What can I change? Maybe you can automate something. Maybe you can streamline something. Maybe you can really, because Saturn in the 6th house can put too much pressure on you and stress, turning you into a workaholic or whatever. So you have to work smarter rather than harder. And if you're in the right career in particular, it's a good time to restructure that career. But Saturn usually going even retrograde in the 6th house requires more work than normal, requires extra efforts in the direction of certain work goals. Whatever your responsibilities is, are you stay-at-home mom? Maybe all the errands, all the dirty nappies, they become more. And if this is not the thing for you to do anymore, it becomes unbearable. So you start feeling dissatisfied. But it's like the service, we have to do a bit more service than normal when Saturn is retrograde there. Also, if there is any employees that there is like rotten apples there, you start seeing the problems now. Or anything that is rotten in your work or career or employees and employment and job, you can start seeing the problems. And that's a great thing, because that is what shows you what you have to change. And the retrograde period is exactly this period of 4 months where you see what doesn't work and then you fix it. And you have 2 more chances after that, next year and the year after that. So it's a slow job, but you'll get it done, don't worry. You'll end up at the right balance of work-life balance, whatever. And some of you might be working on some projects that require extra efforts during that time, or redoing a few times over. While others, sometimes it plays in a very different way as well, like some old job comes to you. Some old responsibility or duty that wasn't finished comes back to be completed. Or some old kind of way of health, maybe you used to run, or maybe you used to take certain medicine, or maybe you used to do something, some routines, and Saturn goes retrograde and you will remember about them or start doing them, pick them up again, for example. But you definitely become more deliberate, more conscious, more serious, because the planet retrograde is 3 times closer to Earth. So imagine Saturn is like on top of the Earth. It's like very close to us. It's like, be serious and deliberate about your responsibilities, about your health, about your duties, about your whatever, pets. Well, sometimes Saturn goes retrograde, there can be problems with pets and so on. I hope not, you know, I'm telling you from the worst to the best. Okay, and then on the same period, on the 18th, as Saturn goes retrograde, we have some new energy coming. New moon in your 9th house. Whoa, that's quite nice. Uplifting 9th house. 9th house is, it can renew your optimism. New moon is about new beginnings. There can be some plans for travel that's happening for some of you after the 18th. Some plans for higher knowledge, for learning something, for taking a course or class that excites you, that gives you meaning and purpose. It can be an opportunity to connect with people from foreign lands and countries, to learn something, to expand your mind, to take a class, to teach something or to learn something. But mostly to feel more aligned. When planets, especially a new moon, activates the 9th house, you get new ideas, you feel more confident, because it's the same element as you in air. It's lit up by the sun, and in the new moon, by the sun and the moon are together there, so you feel more like yourself. This month, even before that, you'll start feeling more energetic, more alive physically, more optimistic. You might feel like that you're at the right place at the right time, have more synchronicities like that, and even receive messages from your higher self, because the 9th house is where God communicates with us. It can come in the form of inspirations, ideas, in the form of you read something or hear something, or someone tells you something, like teachers or inspiring people, or just someone on the street tells you something, you're like, wow, thank you, that really helped me right now, or I needed to hear that, or you're looking for an answers pop out to you, like God talks to us, like your higher self sees the symbols and the signs God sends us all the time with this 9th house activation. But on the more material level, good time to arrange papers, documents for traveling or relocation and so on. And you start seeing kind of the bigger picture, higher perspective. You get out of a limited perspective for a few weeks, basically, in this June. So there you go, Libras. The Venus will be protecting you from the 11th house, maybe even people that, what do we call them? Benefactors that can help you, protect you. Your social life can feel more exciting, more happening. And also, I think any kind of social connections with others, Venus will improve them for 4 months. Jupiter, we spoke about this 8th house. It's a little bit of a wild card there, because 8th house, Jupiter, I've seen it do some crazy stuff. Very exciting, swaps the life around. I saw it in my life, but I've been watching other people as well. But again, ultimately, you'll benefit in some way from this. So let's see. Exciting. What's happening? Thank you.